And that's something I'm seeing so often now that most candidates that I work with, in recruiting heroes, they're ones that are, mid-career officers. I help a lot of people who are retiring as well, of course, but it's shocking to me about at least half, if not 60% of the candidates I work with are those that are in between 5 to 12 years of service. So if that's something, if that's where you are currently and you're considering leaving, know that you're not alone. It's definitely something that's very common right now, and it's sad to see because I think the profession is doing a lot of things wrong when it comes to retaining their officers, whether it be toxic leadership, lack of career growth opportunities, financial considerations. There's so much that the law enforcement is just really struggling with. And my next book's coming out March 31st of 2025, and it's called The Thinning Blue Line, and it's all about helping the law enforcement vacancy crisis through retention, which I say is more important than recruitment, but I do also cover recruitment in there pretty extensively as well. But for me, I was hitting about 7 year mark when I started realizing that my heart was no longer fully in law enforcement. There's a lot of frustrations in the job. Obviously, the long hours, we all know about that, working, nights, weekends, holidays. Law enforcement, and I think really any government job, it really has, it's kind of a weird place where you kind of get rewarded with more work the better you do. So high performers are the ones getting piled on with more and more work for them, while people are just skating by are just given the minimal amount of work. And it's nice to know that the agency trusts you and wants you to take on extra responsibilities, but at the same time, you're getting the same pay as the person next to you who might not be doing anything. And that was kind of my experience. I was taking on more and more responsibilities, and looking back now, I still have a lot of friends at the agency. And I still love the agency and the leadership team. But looking at it now, the job that I was doing at the time when I was leaving is now being done by four different deputies. Well, actually, two deputies, a sergeant, and a lieutenant. Because I was in charge of the recruiting unit. I was also doing helping part time as the PIO. I was doing onboarding, so training as well, and then numerous other duties in addition to those. So it was something where the better I did, I was kept getting more and more work, and I was getting just burnt out. I'll be honest with you. I was in a severe career burnout, and I just no longer felt that passion anymore. And it's a shame because I do think if my workload had been managed a little bit better, both on my own part as well as those of my leadership team, I might still be in law enforcement. And I did feel a lot of frustrations as well, especially in the recruiting background unit, where I wanted to implement new procedures and policies that would really help drive our recruiting efforts. But the leadership team, being a little older generation, they had a hard time adjusting to the new world.